And our final guest today is Dr. David Blakely with the RSU Theater Program. In fact, he is the RSU Theater Program. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate being here.
Good to have you here. Tell me about the production you just finished.
Oh, White Rabbit, Red Rabbit.
Yeah.
It's by an Iranian playwright named Nassim Soleimanpour. I have to be careful how I talk about it because of it is not a political play. And I'm going to say that flat out. It's not a political play. We talk about it as a non-political play to make sure that the playwright stays safe. But it is a play about what people do. You're looking right now. Are those up on right now?
Yes.
About rabbits. It's a play about rabbits and how rabbits have a tendency to attack the rabbit that comes out of the pack and tries to do something. And as soon as they start to attack, as soon as the one out of the pack stops being out of the pack, they get rid of that and get a new rabbit, and a new one sort of emerges, and it gets beat up, and it moves back. It's a very interesting metaphorical play.
But it is not political.
No.
Not political.
No.
You told a kind of offbeat story before we started taping today
yes.
about your grandfather. Could
Yes.
you relate that story?
Sure. So I decided when I was 16 to do theater. And as I often say, my Thanksgivings since then, are full of tension. The family comes in and says, "Oh, that's right, you're doing theater." Why? And my grandfather was the one who always said, "Now, why again are you doing theater?" And he passed away, I think, while I was just about to graduate high school, and we cleared out all of his stuff. And there was a picture in his photographs that he collected of him when he was a young man playing a mandolin with 20 other mandolin players in a 21-piece all-mandolin band. And this is the guy who said, "Is theater a good thing?" And I'm thinking, the 21-piece mandolin band is the future of entertainment. And I took things with more of a grain of salt, shall we say.
That's a great
after
story. What other places do you perform, or do you have your group perform?
Well, we perform in the Will Rogers Auditorium. We have also performed in the Baird Hall Performance Studio. It is not really set up to do theater. The lighting doesn't work well, and there's a couple of other things in it that just make it difficult to do theater. But we did White Rabbit, Red Rabbit in there, in part because we didn't use any of the technology in it, because it's very much an intimate play. People from the audience came out and played characters in the play.
How do you decide, and when do you decide what your next production is going to be?
So normally what I try to do is get a good idea of what I want to do next year in somewhere around March. We have a summer off and we start again in September. And I try to make sure that we know who is going to be coming back, who's going to be interested in doing theater, and try to sort of highlight those kinds of things. Highlight the students who do something really well, whether it be singing or dancing or
Mandolin playing.
Mandolin playing, yes, exactly. I might add that the instrument that I play is even worse than a mandolin. So, and I've played it professionally. So I think about that. I think about the community. It's always interesting to try to figure out either what the community wants or what the community needs. There was a lovely community theater director from Belgium that I met in my studies, and he said, let's say that you live in a community that has 11% unemployment. Do you put on a play that addresses the issue of unemployment. What do you do when more than 10% of your population isn't employed, employable population isn't employed? Do you face those things and talk about them and sort of figure out what to do, or at least give them an opportunity to air their grievances and what they can do? Or do you give them 2 hours of raucous laughter and do one of the funniest plays you possibly can do to get their mind off the fact that they aren't?
Sounds like a bit of a challenge.
It is. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. I did a play one time. I did Clifford Odets' play, The Flowering Peach, which is the story of Noah. And I did it in a community in North Carolina, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, that had just had 25% of its city underwater because of Hurricane Fran.
Ouch.
And so we addressed that head on. We said, come and see this. This is the story of the flood. Anybody who's in a FEMA village or needs anything like that, come and see it for free. We're happy to just bring you in and entertain you. And it's a comedy, but also kind of sad. And we had people who were just crying that somebody was paying attention to what they were doing.
So you managed to pluck a few heartstrings.
Well, we try.
Yeah.
Here, what we've been doing is we try to do new plays. This is my 19th year here, so we've done 19 seasons of theater, and we've probably done over 130 new plays.
Wow.
A goodly portion of them have been student plays, either students of ours at RSU or students from other institutions.
Dr. Blakely, we are out of time. We got less than a minute. Mm-hmm. When is your next performance?
April 21st, 22nd, 23rd of next year. We're going to be doing a play that is going to be devised by the students and myself that incorporates poetry, and happy poetry at that. We've been talking about sort of dreadful things. Happy poetry to get us in a better mood, and we're going to be doing that right at the end of Poetry Month, which is April.
Any mandolins?
I'm trying to get music in it, so if you play, you're in.
No, honest to God, I don't play a mandolin. Well, I want to thank you for taking time to come visit.
Well, I appreciate it. I really do.
We'd like to have you back. Can we do that?
Sure, anytime you ask.
And is it possible the next time you have a performance to maybe come over and get some footage?
Sure.
Yeah. Shoot a little
so
bit,
be real?
Maybe Yeah,
absolutely.
Great, we'll do that. Thank you again, Dr. Blakely.
Thank you.
Appreciate you and what you're doing with these kids. Marvelous. That's all the time we have for this get-together of Perspectives. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you here again next week.